Bulawije Tavwa, we love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Form, a student Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Osinate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm a curator from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music.
And Navunaka, Fiji, in this bulletin, AG calls for urgent attention to climate change. Police to increase drug seizure operations and qualifications vital for skilled workers.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nana.
Minister for Economy Aya Said Kayum has called on the new leadership of the World Bank Group and the International Monetary Fund to give urgent attention to climate change. Speaking at the 73rd plenary of the Board of Governors of the World Bank and the IMF, Said Kayum says climate change is a global threat. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Said Kayum says the entire world is vulnerable and new inequalities are arising, and the climate crisis is exposing those gaps and in some cases ripping them wide open.
The world's larger economies must also continue to play their role to grow the pool of accessible and affordable finance, and we look forward to the replenishment of IDA 19 and beyond. But even the full weight of public sector finance, coupled with MDB financing, cannot fill every gap in resilience.
Said Kayum reiterated Prime Minister Rangi Bainimarama's statement that the world is in the same canoe when it comes to dealing with climate change.
Only by building resilience can we bring certainty to economies, empower growth and create the stable and growing demand for goods and services that fuels domestic, regional and international markets.
The Minister for Economy has also stated that a lot of innovation is needed for climate adaptation and it's time to market real opportunities in resilient investment. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
With cases of drug peddling becoming more common, the Fiji Police Force is stepping up operations heading into the festive season. Deputy Police Commissioner Rusiate Tundravu says they are fully aware of some drug peddling trends and the onus is on members of the public to work with police. The Fiji Police Force is banking on the public to apprehend drug peddlers who continue to violate the law. Tundravu says hard drugs is becoming more prevalent and they are working with relevant organizations to curb the issue.
Hard drugs and also marijuana, it's the same. The thing is that we are also working closely with our partners, the police officers from around the Pacific. You've noted that there's an agreement that has been signed by New Zealand, Tonga. So these are some of the communication channels that are in place. So once we go for marijuana, we are mindful about hard drugs and our effort is also there.
The Civil Aviation Authority of Fiji has clarified that there are regulations in place to determine the go-ahead for a flight based on first and last light. In a submission before the Public Accounts Committee on their audited finances from 2016 to 2017, Opposition PAC member Ratu Naingamala Lambalavu questioned Fiji's air safety record. In particular, he queried the recent helicopter crash in which 3 people died. CAF controller Air Safety Captain George Tundro, while cautioning that an investigation is underway, nonetheless noted that the onus is on operators.
In the particular case, you are correct. There is provisions on last light, first light operations. At the end of the day, the responsibility lies with the operator who's been certified and licensed to comply with the laws. If they don't, then that's where we step in.
French ambassador to Fiji, Jean-Francois Fiteau, says the relationship with Fiji in the international arena can be better developed. Ambassador Fiteau says other than a strong bilateral relationship, there is the potential for the 2 states to take on a multilateral approach, particularly on issues such as climate change.
To make the world order a bit more stable, a bit more predictable. And for this, we have to work for how to deal with international fora all over the world. And my government and the government of Fiji, in my view, should prepare even better than they are doing today.
According to an Asian Development Bank study, only 19% of women have their businesses registered. This was highlighted by the Senior Women Interest Officer for the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation, Anareta Apole. Apole says the majority of businesses registered by women are small and medium enterprises. She says they'll be looking at conducting an MSME mapping exercise to find out where women currently stand in terms of starting and running a business. She adds they're also looking at digitization and innovation as the way forward.
The project that we'll be doing for the next 5 years is looking at the legal framework. We're looking at policy and legislation that actually will promote, or we see as a gap in promoting human economic growth.
Skilled workers who have years of experience can now have formal qualifications. This follows the recognition of prior learning policy, which will soon be implemented by the Fiji Higher Education Commission. Communications Officer Epineri Rawalai says the policy will also come with the cost, which will be determined by the institutions and not the Higher Education Commission. The Montfort Boys Town is ready to implement the prior learning policy in Term 1 next year.
Recognition of prior learning is a process to recognize competence and certify skilled people who have acquired working experience but have no formal qualifications. In short, we can just say, giving qualifications to those people who have experience but they don't have it.
There is a need for radiation plants to help reduce the number of cancer patients' mortality in the country. While speaking during the Red Cross and Higher Education Commission Pinktober afternoon tea, Colonial War Memorial Hospital General Surgeon Dr. Ilaitian De La Sau says a radiation plant can increase the chance of survival for cancer patients. Dr. De La Sau says undertaking mastectomy or the removal of the breast from cancer patients is not necessary if Fiji has a radiation plant. He adds most of the cancers can be cleared by radiation therapy.
Bula na lang ko siya. Dotale taga wali rongo sirma ko na do Fiji na kasi.
Bula ya Veronica Melotoka. Dotale veo na Radio Fiji wan ando mai biti.
Na vango merre telawa. Go ngai tabua. Ando tali takana rongo na Radio Fiji wan ando mai biti.
Bula go ngai no keimba. Ando tali takawale na rongo na Radio Fiji wan ando mai biti. Na wali.
Ana dango saniter ko.
Welcome back. The Fijian Jewel lost to Canberra Vikings 27-28 in the NRC semi-final yesterday. The Vikings converted a try after the final hooter to win here. After capturing the imagination of a nation with a spectacular run, the World Cup dream for Japan came to an end last night after a 26-3 loss to South Africa. For 4 weeks, the Brave Blossoms held the hopes of a nations for the Rugby World Cup as they battled their way to their first ever quarter-final at Tokyo Stadium. In another World Cup quarter-final match last night, Wales held off a fighting French side which were down to 14 men early in the second half. Virimi Vakatawa scored a try for the French, but they went down 19 points to 20. Here. Following the loss to England on Saturday, Wallabies coach Michael Cheika has resigned. Cheika announced he is stepping down as Wallabies coach yesterday. Fiji Mbati coach Brandon Costin says the World Nines is complete and there were some real positives from the games. Cloudy conditions and showers are forecast for the Fiji group today. And that is your FBC Morning News. Remember to join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For these stories and others, you can also tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. That's it from me for now. Have a good morning.
Bula na lang ko siya. Dotale taga wali rongo sirma ko na do Fiji na kasi.
Bula ya Veronica Melotoka. Dotale veo na Radio Fiji wan ando mai biti.
Na vango merre telawa. Go ngai tabua. Ando tali takana rongo na Radio Fiji wan ando mai biti.
Bula go ngai no keimba. Ando tali takawale na rongo na Radio Fiji wan ando mai biti. Na wali.
Ana dango saniter ko ati. ando tali ta ka lebu na boka rong na Radio Fiji One en Osori.
Radio Fiji One nandomo iviti.